This show was first broadcast on Free FM 89.0 Hamilton, New Zealand's community access radio station. For more information on our station and the wide range of programs, visit freefm.org.nz.
This show is proudly brought to you by the #Me Network.
And now, #RadioNZ.
/./////////com.
Welcome to #Radio. I'm Chris McAwesome.
I'm Fid McAwesome.
And I'm V8 Matty.
And on this week's Uncultured Roundup of social media, web, tech and gaming, we've got some news about upcoming Apple events, some new economy stuff, an app to change the way we spend our money or pay for things, and maybe some gaming stuff.
A little bit of gaming stuff? Yeah, there's always a bit of gaming stuff.
Yeah. But first, as we do every week, Chris has got the news.
I do have the news. I have Xenomax.
Oh, I had that once, but you can get some ointment for it.
The owners of such titles as The Elder Scrolls, Doom, Quake, Fallout, Wolfenstein, Rage, and more.
Oh, id.
What?
Id.
Id?
Id?
Id Software.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is owned by Xenomax.
Okay.
Yeah. They're taking Oculus Rift to court. They're suing them.
Oh,
Why?
fantastic.
Did they get sick?
What?
Are they suing them because they got sick playing it? People get sick playing the Oculus.
Was that an attempt to be funny?
Oh, womp womp.
As you were.
Yeah. They're taking Oculus Rift to court for many, many things, including the hiring away of famous programmer John Carmack. He was credited with the conception of Doom and Quake.
Oh, massive.
So they're taking them on for their technology, saying that they've stolen the technology, they've stolen software that's required for Oculus Rift, and for taking away one of their key programmers.
Oh, so was this... Did the concept actually come from this programmer?
Yeah, he's credited with the concept of Quake and Doom.
Yeah, but did he come up with the concept of Oculus Rift?
I don't know. No.
No, but if they're going to use Oculus Rift with his conceptual game designs,
then
I guess that's his intellectual property.
Yeah, well, the Xenomax are saying that it's their intellectual property that's in his head.
Oh, because he was with them when it came up.
I don't know.
And now he's not with them, and he's taken his ideas that he created for them with him.
With him too.
I tell you what, who else could potentially sue Oculus Rift as well? This week,
let's just get in on it.
No. This week, an app was released for the Oculus Rift, which was you put it on and you're sitting in a room in the 90s playing on a Game Boy, and you can play actual Game Boy games on this virtual Game Boy.
So Nintendo's going to take them to court.
They could do, because it actually looks exactly like a Game Boy and it's playing Nintendo games.
That's quite cool. Does it count if it's a digital representation?
Well, yeah, I suppose it would. Because you're using their intellectual property of their design, aesthetics.
But you haven't designed it. It's not an actual product.
The Game Boy?
No.
The image.
Digital image that resembles one.
Yeah, they own the image of those visual aesthetics.
Can you actually own a picture?
Aesthetics.
Aesthetics.
Say calisthenics.
I can't even remember what that word was. What? Calisthenics.
Right.
Oh, we could have
Moving
a whole
on.
show of making Fid say hard words.
Google is planning to offer Wi-Fi network hardware and software to small and medium-sized enterprises.
For free?
A Wi-Fi router?
No, very, very steep discounts where users would actually access the Wi-Fi through their Gmail accounts.
So how does that work? How does Wi-Fi come out of a Gmail account?
Okay, so instead of using your
So you know
login
how you'd log in
details,
to a Wi-Fi?
You'd need a Google Pass to get in. So you know how at the moment to get into YouTube you've got to have a Gmail account.
Yeah, but where does this Wi-Fi come from?
This is the hardware that
This is the
selling.
hardware that they're
So
selling.
basically they're going to be starting to sell routers that you use a Google thing for. I'll just turn my volume down,
Yeah, that'd be good. Well done.
Nearly 2 years we've been doing this, Fid, and you still don't remember to turn the sound off on your phone.
That's very disappointing. Right, moving along. Sony is finally getting to grips with reality, and they've actually set aside $1 billion to cut staff.
They've set aside $1 billion to what? Give them little handshakes and say, see ya.
Yeah, redundancy
$1 billion
payments.
of golden handshakes.
The TV and smartphone divisions.
I'll leave.
Yeah, the TV and smartphone divisions were severely missed their targets. And PlayStation, Cybershot and Audio are about to outline their strategy in regards to what's happening with their planning. However, the issue is Sony has a bad habit of overpromising, and the new Sony executives are very sceptical, hinting that in some areas they may have to abandon completely.
Oh, well.
Big shake-up at Sony, folks.
Yeah.
It seems to be a Japanese electronics thing, though, because Nintendo had the same issue. It was announced a couple of weeks ago as well.
Always with Nintendo, Fid.
Yeah, always had to get your retro shit in. Right, FBI.
FBI, the actual Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Yeah.
There was a game that was... No.
An old game. FBI is wanting to hire programmers who are actually hackers.
As you do.
Yeah, to build its cybercrime department. Problem is they can't actually find any hackers that aren't weed smokers. And some programmers...
Oh, sorry, I got that laugh.
Some programmers are actually smoking pot on the way to the interview. And turning up stoned.
Oh, no
So there's
class.
the problem. The problem isn't that they're weed smokers, they're turning up stoned. Everybody knows you wait until the third week before you turn up to work stoned.
Staying on the whole hacker line, the Aussie Federal Police have arrested 2 men, alleging that they are part of the infamous group Anonymous. The men, who are now no longer anonymous, have been charged with aiding the unauthorised modification of computer networks. Several hard drives have been taken and various amounts of equipment, estimating that it's going to take about several months of work to analyse all the data. Could you imagine? These are programmers.
There's a couple of Australians, though. It'll be like terabytes of porn.
Yeah, it's going to be porn.
Yeah.
Thousands and
AFL.
thousands of porn.
Yeah.
And last but not least, eBay has set a new record. After announcing that 3 months ago, hackers accessed 145 million user records.
That's
Oh,
not a
wicked.
record you want to have your name attached to.
Do I need to change my password?
Yeah, making it the 145 million makes it the largest data breach in history.
When did this happen?
The actual accounts being hacked was 3 months ago, but eBay only announced it this week.
Oh, that's good.
And
of
you
them.
actually do have to change your password because you will be one of those $145 million, 145 million users.
Oh,
So everybody out there, get out there and...
Also, check your credit card.
I'll just make it password 2.
And if you've linked,
Maddie, 1, 2, 3.
yeah, if you've linked your credit card to your eBay account, which a lot of people do,
Yeah.
I'd stop that.
I've got my PayPal linked. Would they've got PayPal information as well?
Or PayPal secured, and so you need another password in order to access your PayPal.
Yeah.
Okay, but if they got my password?
If they got your password to your PayPal, they'd be able to access your PayPal.
But
Haha, I've got no money.
But PayPal's separate. PayPal's separate. But if you've linked an actual credit card into your account on eBay,
I'll have to double
so
check.
for like doing a pay now.
yeah,
Or,
for the
eBay.
pay now via
Yeah,
eBay.
I'm pretty sure mine's just through my PayPal account on eBay, but certainly going to double check.
Yeah, so change your password because chances are extremely high you've actually been hacked. And question is why it's taken eBay so long to notify everybody. 3 months is a long time.
It's
Ooh.
getting common, eh? It's getting common that these companies wait a long time before they go public with these hacks.
Yeah, well, in the meantime, everybody's getting ripped.
Yeah. Well, if there is a more secure way to make these payments now.
Okay, I'm not liking the look of this because your face has got a huge cheesy grin.
Maddie looks happy about this too, though.
I think we should come back after the break and talk about it.
After the break?
Yeah.
Okay. You're on hashtag.
Brought to you by the Advanced Training Academy, ata.ac.nz.
I said I'm running for the city. I got the new word in my view. I got the new word in my view. Oh, my journey I pursue. Oh, I'm running for the city. I got the new word in my view.
They ain't got no muscle, no hustle, no backbone. I stand alone, not tripping. Just I'm different. Ain't hanging on to the coattails of the next man. Passport in my left hand, thinking that you are next. Heck, oh, you ain't holding your breath, man, cause I'm out here, I'm hungry. I don't play around, trust me. Ain't had as much life since my Honda Civic got rusty, and my girl said she loved me. It's funny, just thinking back, study hard for that 9 to 5, like I thought that should be good with that. It was dreaming, still dreaming. Spotlight on me like Willie Beeman, still performing like Al Pacino. Instagram and tuxedos with my peoples. We growing up, still don't seem like we slowing up. 10 squad, we throwing up every time that we showing up. Get it while I'm living. All I ever hear's the clock tick, tick, ticking. So I'm about my business and I'm running with it now. They don't wanna give it up, we gon' make it out. Get it while I'm living. All I ever hear's the clock tick, tick, ticking. So I'm about my business and I'm running with it now. They don't wanna give it up, we gon' make it out. It don't get no greater. Feel like I'm on fire. Feel like I'm Johnny Storm. Feel like I'm volatile, explosive. Get close enough to notice. Your girl act out of character when she see me approaching. Ain't poaching, I'm just saying it's nothing. You punching above your weight, I'm something. She ain't seen no substitute in the 18. That's BA, Baracus, that BS, that whackness. Get no play in my axis. Make them jump like AJ Hackett. Guarantee you, in these boots they couldn't walk 1 mile. Really need to go and hang it up like a drunk doll. So behind the times, they should probably rock a sundial. Shattering their dreams, I can make big puns smile. Music from the soul, don't need them to help me. If they fiending for the flash, they should take another selfie. Said I'm running like Mo Farah, so dapper. Swear the whole world could go against me, it don't matter, man. Get it while I'm living. All I ever hear's the clock tick, tick, ticking. So I'm about my business and I'm running with it now. They don't wanna give it up, we gon' make it out. Get it while I'm living. All I ever hear's the clock tick, tick, ticking. So I'm about my business and I'm running with it now. They don't wanna give it up, we gon' make it out. Won't wait another day. Place falling in place. We got much to lose. I'm on its face. Won't wait another day. Place falling in place. We got much to lose. Get it while I'm living. All I ever hear's the clock tick, tick, ticking. So I'm about my business and I'm running with it now. They don't wanna give it up, we gon' make it out. Get it while I'm living. All I ever hear's the clock tick, tick, ticking. So I'm about my business and I'm running with it now. They don't wanna give it up, we gon' make it out.
Hi, I'm David Bennett, MP for Hamilton East. My team and I are available for constituent inquiries, support or advice on a range of issues. If you need help, please feel free to telephone our electorate office on 07 834 3407 to make an appointment, or email me on davidbennett@extra.co.nz.
This message is paid by Vote Parliamentary Services.
#Radio NZ.
Welcome back to Hashtag Radio. That's me. That was my bit done.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
We'll keep you on.
There's a big build-up behind the scenes to that intro.
It was really, you're on, Carice. This is you. You can
Yeah.
do this.
And I
then
did it.
Boom. Radio Gold.
Knocked it out of the park.
That's seamless. No one's even
Boom.
going to notice how much work went into that.
No.
They have no
it was
idea.
Very natural.
Anyway, before the show, before the break, we were
Discussing your dodgy thing that you're going to
Economics,
discuss.
Currency.
Yeah. So there is a new form of being able to pay via technology,
Yep.
via your cell phone, or actually not via your cell phone. The person selling the goods will be able to use a cell phone to accept your payment.
Ah, sounds ideal.
However, there is an issue. There is one flaw. Me and you, Matt, we can't use this payment system.
Why not?
Well, this payment solution is, we've all heard of Bitcoin?
Bitcoin, yes.
Bitcoin, correct?
Yeah.
Well, Bitcoin's potentially going to be replaced by this new one, which has been developed by a website I've never heard of.
I can't say it was familiar to me either when
Yeah.
I saw it. No.
You ever heard of Pornhub?
No.
No,
Pornhub?
never heard of them.
I've got a question though. How do you know about Pornhub?
I read about it today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, being an enthusiastic retro gamer, he's always looking at porn sites where they sell old stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he stumbled across Pornhub and he thought, I found it, the mecca of all old pawn shops.
Yeah. However, my spelling was incorrect, as usual.
Yeah.
Third.
But anyway, Pornhub have developed a payment solution called Titcoin.
Titcoin.
Bazinga.
Hey, I like where this is going.
The basic idea is the vendor of the goods
Yes, the vendor. Mhm.
can now accept a payment via a woman flashing the vendor.
Let's not be gender racist.
Well,
That's true. There might be some lady vendors out there that want to see some man nippies.
Yeah.
yeah, this is true. Okay.
So what they do is they flash their boobies.
They lift up their shirt and
And they hear
show
a little
boob.
sound that goes cha-ching.
What happens is the vendor then takes a photo with the app, which blurs out the face automatically.
Oh, good. We don't want to see faces.
No,
Yeah.
automatically blurs
forbid.
out the face if there's a face.
If there's a face,
Well, you
there might not be a face.
No, you might have zoomed into to get a really close nip shot. Maybe the goods you were selling weren't worth 2 nipples.
Okay.
Oh,
Only
yeah,
with
it's a
only
single
with
nip.
one.
Yeah, it could be a single nip job.
Just one Titcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
This is so weird.
yeah, and you then accept that as either a full payment or a partial payment of the goods.
I don't even want to know what a
What?
full payment is.
No, the full payment's that photo. That's what I'm saying. You can accept that photo as a full payment or a partial payment.
Yeah.
So it's up to the vendor.
This is very in-depth for something that's completely bogus, Fid.
Well, we don't know this yet.
Yeah, keep going.
It's legit. It was on Pornhub.
You're taking a real long time to explain this.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I get all the facts out there because this is revolutionary.
Yeah,
First
okay.
time he's ever done anything with Pornhub, and he's taken his time.
Exactly. I got quite excited when I discovered this porn business.
Yeah.
And they're saying websites will be able to accept it as well if their website is capable of accepting
Titcoin.
Titcoin. And what happens to those photos is they're then uploaded to Pornhub to create user-generated content for people to be able to consume.
Okay, so your payment is then visible to everyone on that website.
That website we've never heard of.
And sorry. So, because I saw the video
Yeah.
for this.
Would they assign a dollar value? So all these pictures on their website saying like this one was 23 cents,
Yeah.
and if you want to see the $50 purchase, click here and enter your details.
But it said like they were wanting eventually to get into technology where it's vendor machines.
Yeah, vending machines.
Vending machines.
So a vending machine will have a
Where-
camera on it where you just go, whoop.
Or shops
Oh, nice.
that had like web cameras.
Yeah.
Or cell
In
phones. They reckon the app will be available on iOS and Android.
Like, is this actually for real? Because I'm thinking this is total crap.
I'm thinking it's a marketing genius at Pornhub who's come up with this.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we've certainly talked about them.
Yeah.
Wasn't hard to get us to talk about them, but we did. So, moving on.
Do we really want to move on? Do we want to discuss this?
No,
further?
no, we want to move
We've done
on.
quite a good segment here on Titcoin.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the funny thing, was they were going to
Oh, this is the funny
donate.
thing.
Oh.
Here we go.
No, they were going to donate some of the profit that they make from Titcoin to breast cancer, so that
To support the economy.
to support a healthy economy.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds very, very good of them.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, doesn't it?
That's right.
The more-
Share the love.
Yeah.
And so I could go around. I want those shoes. How is it one tit or is it two tits?
Well, they'd probably be like, well,
Yeah.
that's a $200 pair of shoes. So you can either pay half with Titcoin and cash, which would be one tit.
Yeah. yeah. So you'd be buying things on Tit.
Yeah. Can I just tip this up till Thursday?
Oh, no.
Oh, witty wordplay here on hashtag.
Yeah.
It's puntastic.
Quick, move on.
Move on.
Moving on.
You remember a couple of months ago we got really excited about the new smartwatches that were announced at CES.
No, I do remember mocking it, though.
No, me and Matt got quite excited about there was one that was round.
Yeah, it looked like a watch.
It looked like a watch.
Oh, wow.
Okay, officially it has been announced. It is the Motorola 360 or the Moto 360.
Is it because it's completely round
At the
and
screen.
therefore it's
360.
360 degrees?
It's like a circle reference.
Exactly. Oh, the
Oh.
wordplay continues.
My goodness, these marketing people are just genius.
But yeah, Motorola 360 has been officially announced. It is going to have a round face.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
we get that by the
yeah,
360.
and it's going to be running what has just been leaked. But we actually talked about this 2 weeks ago because we were told about it by LG the other day, Matt.
Ooh, will we?
Oh, is
yeah.
this the stuff that we leaked?
Yeah. Well, we didn't leak this watch.
There's
leaked,
no secret about this other stuff that we're keeping secret anyway.
But
I've seen it in
do
the...
you remember we got told about Android were developing an OS just for smartwatches?
Yes,
And we talked about it on the show.
we did.
This is the first officially announced phone who is going to be using Android Wear.
Android Wear.
It's going to be called officially the new Android operating system for smartwatches.
Ah.
Is this with Motorola?
This is Motorola, which is owned by
Oh.
Google.
That would explain how come Google's getting into the Wi-Fi network hardware.
Possibly.
Because, well, it's Motorola, and Motorola was one of the biggest
But they're not
telecommunication.
They're not going to be owning Motorola for much longer, are they? They're selling off to Lenovo.
Everyone's selling off to everyone.
Oh, they'll
Plus-
probably aren't they selling off the Motorola division or
Plus,
just
this
part of
will
it?
give Microsoft the opportunity to sue Motorola for using 360
Exactly.
because that's an Xbox thing, isn't it?
It is.
Oh,
Ah,
smart, not smart.
hang on. Who invented the wheel? He's got a claim on this as well
Yeah, because it is round.
because it's round.
Yeah.
360 degrees.
So anyway, they've made this announcement. They've also announced that for developers, they released a competition where they're asking to developers to create their own take on a watch face.
I know.
For
I've got a crazy idea.
What?
One that has two hands, has 12 numbers that go around the whole entire.
12 numbers, like equally spaced all the way around it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
And like it,
I don't understand where you're going with this.
like in total it'd be like 60 seconds.
Or 60 minutes.
Or 60 minutes.
Whoa.
12 hours.
I know.
Wow.
I'm going to put this crazy idea in.
Numbers. I
Yeah.
love them.
Anyway, they were supposed to be trying to keep the price of this new watch a secret.
Oh, the price?
Yeah, they were trying to until they're officially launched.
Let me guess. 360.
No.
Well, they missed the boat on that one,
Yeah.
didn't they?
In the terms and conditions for this competition, because the prize is a watch, and in terms and condition, you have to say what the value of the prize is going to be.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
What's the
So
value?
The value is going to be $249 US.
Well, that's quite pricey. That's about $1 squillion in New Zealand.
By the time you chuck it on a boat and ship it over here.
That's right, because it's about $500 worth of boat petrol.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then another whole bunch of government taxes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'm pretty close with a squillion. Yeah.
Getting there.
I'm looking forward to it. I might get 3.
I actually think, to be honest, it looks like it's going to be a really well-valued watch. The Samsung Gear 2, which we've seen as well, over there is valued at $299.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too much here, though, is it?
No, it's about roughly about the same price, actually. I think it is about $299 New Zealand.
I
Maybe
don't know. I haven't even looked, to be honest.
Mid-300s.
I don't look at prices
But
on
it's
stuff.
going to be less than that. It's
Makes me
$50
sad.
It's $50 less than that in the US, so
Yeah.
we're looking at about $80 here less.
Huh.
Fantastic news.
Um,
Can I submit my drawing in crayon?
I don't see why
possibly.
not.
I've seen some designers work, and it seems to be like that.
Okay.
And June the 2nd.
The 2nd of June.
This is a US date, so actually the 3rd.
So it'll be. It won't be June 2nd?
No, it'll be June 3rd in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. So
For
the
a
morning,
while.
it'll be the morning of June 3rd. Is going to be Apple's Dub DC 14.
DC14.
The Worldwide Developers Conference for Apple, which is where they usually... this is where they made the announcement last year of the rubbish bin, Mac Pro, the new iPad.
Do you know anyone that's got one of those round Mac Pros?
I know someone who's ordered one.
Are they not available yet?
They are available, but he's just ordered his new one because they don't generally keep them in store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't want to stock stuff.
Generally, the only people who use these are developers and software.
I think we've
coders
solved the
and
problem for electronics companies.
stuff. But anyway,
Don't get me started. Waiting for things to arrive.
This is usually where they announce the first, the start of year launch of things like the iPads and stuff like that.
Yes.
So we won't be getting the iPhone announced next week.
Well, you never know.
We won't be getting to what?
The new iPhone.
The iPhone 6, maybe.
But what we could be getting is maybe the iWatch.
Ooh.
Now that wearable is definitely a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing now. Everyone's doing it, so Apple will be the innovators they are and release one and say they did it first and see everyone.
Well, basically...
They'll but they'll bring it out in white.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get 2 colour options, white and what's the other colour they do? Black.
Black.
Yeah. No, charcoal.
Charcoal.
Yeah.
I don't know if charcoal's the official name of the colour, is it?
Well, it looks more charcoal because it's matte now.
With a quarter taken out of an apple.
Yeah, with a bite out of it.
Yeah. But I think Apple...
that's resembling your wallet.
I think Apple are actually at a point now where with the smart devices where they're going to have to actually jump in now or they don't enter the market at all with wearable.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think the boat's about to pull out and if they're not on board, there's no point.
Yeah.
No.
So I think it's a safe bet to say the iWatch will be announced. They're also speculating that maybe this much talked about Apple TV, actual physical TV may be announced this year.
With the
Really?
Retina display made by someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And electronics owned by another company.
Yeah, well, it's all a collaboration of sorts. But yeah. So speculations are rife, but we won't know exactly until pretty much a week from now.
Sweet. And don't forget, this is still New Zealand Music Month for a little bit longer. This will be our last show during New Zealand Music Month, so I think we'd better whack another song in here.
Yeah. You're on Hashtag, brought to you by the Advanced Training Academy. You can check them out at ata.ac.nz.
It's no surprise that we ain't in heaven. We're on the earth.
But you meet me in my darkest cavern. Can't count what you were. 'Cause baby, when the waves crash over me,
Baby, when the skies turn crazy,
you're the only one I want next to me. With every passing second, every drop of falling rain, I realize I'm lucky to be holding you. When my ground starts shaking and my bones start breaking, I realize I'm lucky to be holding you. We ain't in a perfect world, but you still bring the stars out. You still freak my heart out. With every passing second, every drop of falling rain, I realize I'm lucky to be holding you, holding you, Thought I would always be alone, then you walked in like a dream.
your smile shine brighter than the sun to me. Your heart is next to none. 'Cause baby, when the waves crash over me,
Baby, when the skies turn crazy,
you're the only one I want next to me.
with every passing second, every drop of falling rain, I realize I'm lucky to be holding you. When my ground starts shaking and my bones start breaking, I realize I'm lucky to be holding you. We ain't in a perfect world, but you still bring the stars out. You still freak my heart out. With every passing second, every drop of falling rain, I realize I'm lucky
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What is up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? It doesn't matter how you say it, just listen to What's Up. Join me, Mike. I'm a Hamilton Youth Advisor, here to tell you what's happening for our youth and what's up with youth resources in H-Town. What's Up? Tuesday mornings at 10:30 a.m. only on Free FM 89.0.
I want to keep learning, but I don't know how.
School's just not working out for me.
If this sounds like you, it's time to talk to Advanced Training Academy. Here's what our students have to say.
It's like one big family.
I like the work and get way more done.
It's friendly and stress-free.
To find out how Advanced Training Academy can help you, call 834 0007 or visit ata.ac.nz today.
#Radio NZ.
Welcome to Hashtag Radio. Yay, I did it again.
That's Charisma Awesome.
It is me.
Anyway, off the air, we were just having a bit of a talk about podcasts and stuff.
Yes, because our show is released through Free FM on iTunes and so on as a podcast.
Yeah, and on Spreaker via the podcast, via the Hashtag Me Podcast Network.
That's right, our own little
thing that we've got going.
Thingamy-bob, so that we can make it accessible to more and more people.
Exactly.
Because we need to be heard.
We're on everybody's phones and stuff.
That's right.
You must hear our voices.
But anyway,
oh yeah.
On the subject of that, should we be looking at maybe doing a second podcast ourselves?
Yeah, well, we've been doing this show for 2 years, and for 2 years we've talked about doing a slightly more uncultured, uncensored version, but
we've never really pulled the trigger on it.
We haven't, no. I mean, a lot of commitments between the three of us with full-time jobs for all of us now, Fid.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
yay, congrats, Fid.
and with families and everything else. It's just hard to find the time. But, I mean, should we? Should we pull the trigger and do another show on just whatever?
I like our conversations more.
The ones we have off the air.
Off the air. They're off the air.
Because we have some funny conversations before we hit record on the show.
But do we?
And I sound a lot smarter.
Do we? Or does everyone who sits around having a conversation think that's a funny conversation? We could podcast that.
I think we only think it's funny because we only jump to the podcast thing because we do this as a thing.
Yeah.
So we go, imagine if we'd been able to release that on the show.
This is our full-time, part-time hobby.
Yeah. So this is something we want to do. Like, we don't have to talk about social media and stuff because, I mean, there's heaps of podcasts out there that just talk about nothing.
This is true.
I mean, are we going to be one of those?
While away the time talking about what we had for dinner. I mean, it would almost be an audio Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
It will be just as fragmented too.
Well, this is a problem. If we actually got to a point where we've been doing the radio side of things or doing this show for so long that we've become so structured as to how we do things?
Yeah, I think so.
We'd find it too hard to just have a natural conversation?
Well, no.
He says having a natural conversation. Yeah.
Well, no, because hashtag it is the uncultured roundup of all things social media, web tech and gaming. So generally we only talk about those things.
Yeah. So we're a bit narrowed in our scope of conversation.
Yeah.
But off air is when we start talking about all things that are geeky. We're not limiting
all things.
We're not just limiting our geekiness.
We did have an almost 20-minute conversation about farts earlier.
That's probably not so much geeky as it is somewhat disgusting.
But is that podcast material? Well, I think it is.
You would. Because girls don't fart.
No, they don't.
No, but they do find them humorous.
They hold it in and let it out the other end as charming words.
So, yeah, when you were going on about the Rogan's podcast before.
Yes, Joe Rogan. You've probably heard of him.
I'm going to say no.
You have. Oh. He does the UFC commentary. Once upon a time he did Fear Factor, and now he does podcasts as well.
Oh, Fear Factor dude.
And
why did you say
famous comedian.
Yeah.
Yes. And he has a very successful podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah. Then
JRE.
Yeah. And then you got Kevin Smith, who has pretty much all but quit the film industry.
Yep.
And just does podcasting for a living now.
Yes.
He hasn't quit the film industry, has he?
A lot of
I'd say
comedians.
just about quit. He's only just put his toe back in the film industry in the last couple of months.
I'll see if we did a separate podcast, it would be you guys arguing a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'd be able to not censor these arguments and be able to throw the F-bombs and stuff in there as well.
But you guys don't swear. That's terrible.
Yeah.
You're making me sad. I think it would be good to have another podcast. Certainly, under our little hashtag me network that we're trying to get going with podcasts, we do have another show.
Yeah, it's starting next Tuesday.
Starting next Tuesday, or this Tuesday coming.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Next Tuesday, it will be this Tuesday.
I'm confused. What
fingers
Tuesday?
Crossed.
Yeah.
New show. It's going to be called Access Granted.
Access Granted.
And it's going to be a bit more of an expert's opinion on businessy side of things.
So basically, you take the concept of hashtag radio, which is social media, web and tech side of it, and then actually get professionals talking about it.
That's right. People that work in the industry rather than people that just look at the industry and go, what?
Why are they doing that? They'll be able to answer those questions and go, well, we do this because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might learn something from that one.
Yeah, you could do.
But still listen to us.
Yeah.
So that's going to be Raj and Mike, and they're going to try and have regular guests and talk about topics and companies, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And you'll be able to find them along with our podcast and hashtag TV and everything else on hashtag me.co.nz.
Yeah.
Talking about hashtag TV.
Yeah.
We've got some filming coming up today.
Yes, we've been very busy today.
Yeah.
And again tomorrow.
Yeah. But it's for a fun time.
It's
I know, we
love it.
I know, it's
being
so
on film.
hard. So hard having to go and talk to celebrities.
I know, right? And getting free entry to these events.
I know, right?
Jeez.
But pretty cool.
We're doing it tough.
If you are in Hamilton, you didn't know about it, why? But it's still on tomorrow. We're talking about the Armageddon Expo, of course.
Armageddon Expo at Claudelands Events Centre here in the Tron.
Yep.
It's been on today and it's on again tomorrow. So.
You would not believe it. I had to explain to one of my work colleagues, who's probably around 23, I'd say, at the oldest.
23.
24, what Armageddon was.
Oh, my God.
He'd never heard of it.
How long has he lived in the real world? I was going to say New Zealand.
But he's a
Is this the American guy in the office?
He's not American.
Canadian?
No.
What is that accent?
Fijian.
Oh, yeah, I can see how you mix that up, Vic.
I don't know which one we're talking about then. Okay.
Yeah. So,
meanwhile, on the other side of town.
Yeah. I had to explain to him what Armageddon was, and he got all excited when I said people dress up for it.
Yeah, well, that's what I like about it.
Yeah. He was like, oh, do they just sell comics there?
They do sell comics?
Yeah, they do.
Amongst other things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the celebrities that come along. We've got Christopher Judge from Stargate. We've got Charles Martinet.
Yeah.
I think is still...
Sorry, so Christopher Judd is Tilk?
Yeah.
Tilk?
Okay.
Yep. Charles Martinet, the voice of Super Mario and Luigi and all the Nintendo characters.
Yep. We've also had today stars from the Hobbit movies.
Yeah.
Local and international.
Yeah.
I don't know these famous people.
Yeah, but you've seen them in the movies.
Yeah, I would
but
have
they
seen
looked
them.
different, probably, because they had makeup and pretend
Like,
clothes
how do you
and pretend
recognise-
feet on.
And there's wrestling.
And there's wrestling.
What?
There's wrestling. At Armageddon.
Oh, the local
Sci-fi,
wrestling?
Yeah.
comics,
Impact Wrestling.
the whole gambit of funness.
Yeah. It's one would say it's almost like an expo of pop culture.
Yeah, you could.
I think it's actually on the tickets and on the posters.
Nice work.
Head along there. If you're listening to this on Radio Southland or on the podcast, you'll be able to check them out when they're down in Christchurch or up in Auckland as well.
Yeah, Wellington's been, eh? They've done Wellington.
I actually thought Christchurch had been as well.
No, later in the year. Sure it is.
I'm
Or
gonna-
maybe early next year. Anyway.
I'm going to Google this.
You might have missed it, but
It's
it
also-
happens every year.
Yeah, and it happens in Australia as well. It's awesome. Worth checking out.
Yeah, Armageddon Expo. You can follow them on Twitter as well, at Armageddon Expo. And they're on Facebook as well. So
Yep.
go along, have a look. And they've got a website too. So they've pretty much got the whole social media thing covered. No excuses.
No excuses not to know who they are, unless you're that person at work.
Yeah. Which is the one you're thinking of.
But yeah, you'll see more of Armageddon if you don't make it on Hashtag TV later this year.
Exactly. We've got heaps of other stuff coming up on Hashtag TV as well.
And yes, Christchurch has been.
Oh, Christchurch has been?
There you go. Of course it has. Fid said it hadn't, so it must have been.
Yeah.
It's breaking my heart. Anyway, it must be time for another Kiwi track.
I think so. We're going to squeeze another Kiwi tune in here.
Come back with some gaming?
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
I forgot we hadn't done gaming yet. Awesome. Gaming. You're on Hashtag.
You're pushing down on my shoulders and emptying my lungs. And in a moment I'm older. In a moment you've won. And you escape me like it's nothing, like words I never should have said. And distress comes to the surface, but all of the heroes are dead. And I hate that I can't say your name without feeling like I'm part of the bed. And it's never gonna feel quite the same. It's never gonna change. And I hate that I'm always so young. Had me feeling like you were the one. And it's never gonna feel like it's done. 'Cause it's never gonna change. While I dance here softly, you're next to me again. But we're still tugging on each other and tearing at the fraying loose ends. And I hate that I can't say your name without feeling like I'm part of the bed. And it's never gonna feel quite the same, but it's never gonna change. And I hate that I'm always so young. Had me feeling like you were the one. And it's never gonna feel like it's done. 'Cause it's never gonna change.
Will someone just shut that stupid bird up?
No one likes getting up in the morning. And at Free FM 89.0, we recognise that. So, weekday mornings from 7, we've prepared a breakfast feast to ease you into your day on the Free Breakfast. It's a mixed grill of 7 hosts across 5 days with a diverse spread of opinions, humour and music. Gorge yourself silly on interviews, traffic and weather reports, album of the week, birthdays, on this day in history, live news from the BBC and much, much more. When you catch the Free Breakfast, you'll be ready to start your day feeling like a box of birds.
Box of birds.
The Free Breakfast, weekday mornings from 7 for topical chat, awesome music and a breakfast bowl of fun. Get out of bed on the right side with the Free Breakfast, mornings from 7 on Free FM 89.0.
Do you know that Free FM is a charity?
Trust Waikato does, and New Zealand Lottery, and the Lion Foundation, and Southern Trust. And every year, these and a swag of other community funders help us make real community radio on Free FM. Cheers for that.
Hashtag Radio NZ.
Welcome back to Hashtag Radio.
You stole my bit.
I'm Pid McCawson.
I was so looking forward to bringing it back and going, welcome to Hashtag Radio, and now it's time for gaming. But he stole that.
That was awesome.
That was pretty good. Well done.
I'm excited about gaming because you know what's happening this week? Guess what's happening this week?
What's happening this week?
There's a game coming out this week. A big game.
What
a game that we've been waiting for since November of 2013.
This is the PlayStation 4 exclusive launch title.
We're talking about Watch Dogs, and it looks like a cool game, and I'm really looking forward to having a go on it. So
It actually does look really cool. I watched the trailer for it the other day.
if one of our friends in one of these companies would send us a copy of the game, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And send us a copy we can give away.
Yeah. It does look like an amazing game, though.
It does.
Like, we've actually been taking the piss out of this game for like the last, 6-7 months?
That's because it was...
Because it was meant to be released in November.
It was supposed to be the PlayStation 4 launch title, one of them.
I don't know if it officially was a launch title.
It was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was an exclusive. It was supposed to be coming out on them first.
Yeah, we have said that in the past, but I'm not sure we're 100% accurate unless Sony have just changed things so that they got themselves out of the poo.
Which wouldn't be.
Wouldn't surprise me. But, yeah, Watch Dogs comes out on the 27th, which is Tuesday?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
I'm sure you know the 27th.
Yeah, I know the
is
27th
Tuesday.
is like the back of my hand at the moment.
So Watch Dogs, it'll be released on PlayStation 4.
Yes.
PlayStation 3.
Yes.
On PC, Microsoft Windows. And also on Xbox 360 and Xbox One.
That's a lot of ports of one game for a launch.
So it's coming out for all of them on Tuesday the 27th, and it'll be coming a little while later on Wii U.
Yeah.
So if you haven't got any of those
so they've
other
still
things,
got to wait.
If you're sitting there with your Wii...
To be honest, I think the developers are sitting there going, we'll give it 3 months and see if the Wii U's still around.
Yeah, they might not have to yet.
But we know that the Wii U has done extremely well.
Fantastic.
I've got gaming news.
More gaming news. Bring it on.
SingStar this week is officially a retro game.
Ah.
Is it? How?
SingStar.
It has hit the 10-year mark. It's the 10-year birthday of SingStar.
So it only has to be 10 years old to be deemed retro.
It's a loose rule.
Oh, it's a loose rule?
Yeah.
Your retro guys are pretty loose.
Yep.
It's how you roll.
They made this announcement this week when they announced that they're releasing the first PS4 version of SingStar.
Yes.
Now, the interesting thing with this is you'll be able to get microphones for it.
Well,
but
you'd need them.
That's good.
No, you don't need them.
What?
They're going to be releasing an app on iOS and on Android so you can actually turn any smartphone or tablet into a microphone.
Oh, it would be crappy quality, though.
I'd imagine so.
All it's really going to do is score you on the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that's what I like. I've got the old Lips,
Yeah.
which is the Xbox 360 version of SingStar. And
We haven't had a jam on that for a while.
we haven't, Jen. We should do that sometime soon because we do have a bit of fun singing along to those
That could
songs.
be worth do our first stream on Twitch. We've got a Twitch account we've never used.
Yeah, I can see you wanting to sing live.
Well, most people do like Battlefield and Titanfall and stuff like that on Twitch.
Yeah, and we could do Lips.
Yeah.
Sounds
be
awesome.
funny.
I'm cringing already.
Yeah. So yeah.
Bit of Maroon 5 or something? Yeah.
But yeah, so they're doing something a bit different, and they're going to be adding the smartphone support to the PS3 version after that.
Okay, now this is kind of gaming, and what I want to do is come back to the looseness of retro gaming.
Okay.
So you're saying
loose.
SingStar is going to be retro even though they're still making it.
Yeah.
So I always thought that, you know, like a classic car, it has to be a certain age. It's not in production, that particular one anymore. Like there's a newer version.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But you can't get that one.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be the same with retro gaming? I always thought with retro gaming it would have to no longer be in production to be deemed a retro game, you know? Make it collectible.
No, it can still be in production.
Well, the brand can still be in production, like you said. So Lips is still in production. Not Lips.
SingStar.
SingStar is still in production as a game for the PS4, but they're not making it for PS2.
Yeah, but it's a new
PS3.
version.
Yeah, exactly. So, but what they're saying
those games that are coming out now. So those games that are coming out now aren't.
Hush, little fitty.
Aren't retro. It's the games before it.
The original ones are now 10 years old.
Yeah. So
And
the
you
original
only
ones
have to
are
be 10 years old to be retro. That leaves a lot of retro stuff in my lifetime.
This is the electronics world, though.
Yeah, exactly. That probably sums up the best. In electronics, like my oldest collection piece was released in the late 70s.
Wow.
So that's
black and white.
Not much older than me.
Black and
wow,
white.
You're old, Fid. I always thought you were a young guy.
Yeah,
what gave you that idea?
They hear my sexy voice on the radio and everyone says the same thing.
That's
well,
right. We don't want to ruin the illusion.
Oh no, sorry, they say you look so much younger than I thought you were.
Ah,
That's what it
yes.
was. So, yeah, that's what they said to me.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, while we're on retro games, Xbox One are going to be releasing a console without the Kinect.
Yes.
So it's going to be cheaper, obviously, because you're not getting your Kinect with it.
Was this the price thing?
No, this is a new one. They did the price drop last week for the consoles around the world.
So
which include Kinect.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to make an even cheaper model. Well, the same Xbox One console, but without the Kinect included. So you'll be able to buy it as a separate accessory.
Yeah.
Oh, so that'll make it even more cheaper.
Which in New Zealand, I think, is not a bad thing because we still haven't got...
Was it the
We
post?
still don't have bloody voice controls, and I'm spewing all over the place.
Because what was the post that Microsoft did today?
What about
this week?
Yeah, earlier this week.
They did the external hard drive support.
Yep, external hard drive, and it's only going to support up to 16 terabytes.
Only 16 terabytes.
I know, but I saw all the comments underneath
Voice
it.
control?
Where's voice control?
Yeah.
Why aren't you telling us when we're going to get
And
voice
they're not
control?
replying to anyone.
No. And I've been trying to get replies from anyone.
And Microsoft?
Through Microsoft, Xbox. I've been including Major Nelson in my tweets and stuff.
Yeah.
I emailed Major Nelson.
I've only had one response, and that was from Xbox support.
Yeah.
Who kind of fobbed it off by giving me Major Nelson's blog address, saying keep an eye out here for updates.
Oh, so they don't know.
So no, they either don't know or they're just not saying. But no one will acknowledge or address the fact that there's countries like New Zealand who got the console on release. It was touted to have all these wonderful magical powers, and we still don't have them.
Yeah.
From a marketing...
So the Connectless
Okay, I wasn't going to
version-
talk. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, from a marketing perspective, when companies start doing that, they don't know and they don't have any intention.
They don't have any idea.
No, they don't have any idea because they've got no intention. If they had an intention, they would normally say it'll
Watch
be
this
released soon.
Yeah, if they would acknowledge the actual thing that everyone's grizzling about and say that thing that you're all moaning
We're
about
working on it.
is coming.
Yeah, or they'll say they're
But we
working on
can't
it.
we can't give you a time frame yet, but it is going to happen.
Companies
Because we're
that-
not getting any of that.
Yeah, companies that generally tend not to say anything like you're saying, they're just ignoring you.
Yeah.
Generally have no intention of
And
letting
so
it out.
releasing the console without a Connect bar is good and bad. I mean, it's good because in New Zealand your Connect's pointless anyway unless you're using it for Skype.
Yeah.
And it's bad because it's just another sign that they're not going to do any more development with the voice controls through the Connect for us. It's like, well, you don't need it, so we're not going to develop it for you guys.
Do you know what I think it's actually a sign of? Microsoft realise that they're in a point where their sales against the PS4 is no good. So if they can release something at the same price point as the PS4, they can sell more
people
units.
are too picky because I'm happy to pay more if I'm getting more.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what you are getting when you buy the Xbox One with the Connect bar.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're getting
everything you need out of the box.
Two things.
Yeah.
You know, you buy a PS4, sure it's cheaper, but that's because you're only buying a console.
Yeah, a console and one controller.
Because does PS4 have voice control?
No. Don't think so.
Okay, I'm going to Google this.
I don't
I'm
think...
not sure, but they do have a camera thingy now, don't they?
Yeah, they've got the camera, but you got to buy that separately. It doesn't come in the box.
Yeah.
So this is what I think Microsoft have done, is they've gone, okay, if we want to match their sales, or at least get close to their sales, we're going to have to release the same setup as them. I think this is where they are, is they realise that in the market at the moment they're nowhere near as good as Sony. They still haven't released figures in New Zealand yet of what they've sold.
Yeah, and we haven't got a lot of games come out yet that's
Who?
Microsoft haven't.
That are fully set for
Microsoft
Connect.
Worldwide have.
Yeah.
PS4 does have voice commands. I'm just going to see it though if it's
they
available
work
in New Zealand.
Now they're in trouble too with their motion sensor and stuff on their controls. Someone else had packed us out about the patents and stuff involved with how that works.
No, someone I did hear, Philips are suing Nintendo
over the Wii.
Over the Wii U.
I can't remember which one.
Yeah, it may actually be for both, and it's for touchpad technology for gaming and motion control for gaming.
Yeah. I'm scraping here.
Yeah.
With regards to details, so I think we'll just move on.
Actually, one thing I do have to say before we finish the show is this week Ping Zero announced that they are going to be having Ping Zero 45 in June.
And you two went along to the last one, and it was a fantastically huge event, so
we loved it.
Highly recommend it. Carice was really not looking forward to going, and then it turned out she absolutely loved it and can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
I did enjoy it. I really want to go, but this time I want to be able to actually play.
Yeah, because the only thing we really played was Street Fighter. We didn't do the computer things.
Because you're old school.
They had the Xbox 360 set up with a couple of arcade controllers.
Yeah.
But anyway,
take on the hashtag PC.
Ping 045 is going to be on from the 11th to the 13th of July at Truss Arena, the same place as last time. And this time around, they've got some really cool options for tickets. You're not just going to be able to buy the standard ticket. For $80, you can get yourself a weekend pass, plus get early entry in, plus get a Ping Zero t-shirt, plus a gamer lanyard and tag.
Yeah, take a sleeping bag, take some food.
Well, they've also, if you don't want to sleep at the venue, they've got discounts available for nearby motels and stuff this time around.
No, if you're going to do it, you have to stay there, sleep by your computer, and you go. No, you don't sleep. This is a LAN party.
This is a LAN party. You take V and stuff.
You harden up.
Yeah. Get your energy drinks down, and you go for it.
According to some comments here, PS4 does have voice command in New Zealand.
Yeah. Not to the same extent, though, I think, that the Xbox One has in the States.
Anyway, that's us for another week anyway.
Thanks for coming along.
Yep. Follow us on Twitter at #RadioNZ, on Facebook, facebook.com/#RadioNZ, and check out the website, #me.co.nz, and we're all over social media elsewhere.
Yep. You can
all
find
over
us
social
on
media elsewhere.
YouTube as well, #TV.
Yeah. #MeTV.
#MeTV.
Yep.
Must get that right.
So that's us for another week. Tune in next week and make sure to look out for Access Granted this Tuesday on the #Me Podcast Network.
Details on the website.
Yeah.
See you.
#Radio NZ.
For more episodes of this Community Access Radio show, please visit freefm.org.nz. Thanks to New Zealand On Air for making this broadcast possible through funding the Access Internet Radio Project.